Tennessee Titans at the Miami Dolphins. So these games are both going off at the same time too?
Yeah.
That's not too bad. All right.
One of them's a Manning game, right? Isn't that how they're doing it? One of them is...
I don't know.
One of them's the main Troy and Joe, and is the Manning the other one?
Well, the last time they did the Monday doubleheader, they brought in...
Dano.
No, well, Chris
Lewis.
Fowler.
Yeah, it was Fowler.
Oh, yeah. So I think they have Lewis, because Lewis is tweeting all about the
right, so
Dolphins.
it's Fowler
lately.
is the play-by-play, and then Sweet Lou and Dano, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
In the booth.
So it's not a Manning game.
I think, I don't know, whatever. I think the Mannings are doing one of them, but probably not as the main broadcast.
Titans at the Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 13.5 here.
Yeah.
Again, the Titans have they did just lose in Nashville.
They did.
But they have not won a game outside of Nashville either.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins by 13.5 here on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Some news today. Austin Jackson, right tackle for the Dolphins, has just been re-upped.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the middle of a career year 4.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. In fact, talked about his prospective future contract yesterday.
Well, look at that. Nailed it. Remember, it's a right tackle friendly system, the Shanahan McDaniel scheme. And so they got the best out of Austin Jackson so far this year. Coming off his best game, too.
Yeah,
especially from a run-blocking perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we talked yesterday, like he's having a career year and he's definitely better. It's not like it's been good, though, outside of like the last game or 2 of the last 3 games, I guess. But
is Manningcast doing both games? Is that somebody said that in the chat?
Says
I don't know
no
if that's a joke.
Manningcast.
There's no Manningcast.
According to Ben Stockwell, our live
he's
fact
better
checker
than the person in the
at
chat
all
that's
times.
lying to me. Then,
he says no Manningcast whatsoever. So if Ben is telling the truth, that's the story.
Ben spends a lot of time listening to us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and actually paying attention enough to be able to fact check us at all times.
Do you work, Ben? I'm just kidding. Love you.
What was I saying?
Something about Austin Jackson at right tackle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, you brought that up. Whatever. It's difficult to see how the Titans can slow down this Miami offense, which is why the spread is 13.5 points.
Yeah, as of last week, I haven't double-checked it, but the EPA per play against outside corners, Titans were worst in the NFL.
The Titans have nobody on defense that can come close to matching up to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and
which is not unique to them, but like they especially seem to be a problem for that.
The MVP hype for Tyreek Hill seems to be at a pinnacle right now. Again, as you don't have...
I wrote an article advocating for
You
it.
wrote about it. What was do you have 30 seconds to tell us how you...
And we basically covered it on the Monday show, I think, right? Which is in order to construct an MVP case for a wide receiver, you need to be able to make the argument that he's the more important element than the quarterback. And I think, as you said, as we concluded on Monday, you can do that for Tyreek. It's just a multiple year... argument that's quite disingenuous, but you can at least sell it, right? It's like we know there are more than one factor involved in each of these elements, right? The Alex Smith thing, the Patrick Mahomes thing, the Tyreek Hill Tua thing, but you roll them all together and you say each one, Tyreek Hill was the more important element of the confounding factors, the credit pie, all that kind of thing. Roll it all together this year, add it to 2,000 yards and everything you see on the tape, and you can at least make the argument.
Yeah, his yards per route run figure are just out of this world. Only getting, well, it gets screwed when he gets negative yards on screens where they throw, badly. But anyway, and then Tennessee, Will Levis, again, he's been, it's Monday night. It's going to be entertaining. The Dolphins defense has been sneaky good the last few weeks. Remember, they started kind of slow, but Jalen Ramsey's come back. Mm-hmm. Even though losing Jalen Phillips as a pass rusher a couple weeks ago, I think it's a tough blow for that defense, but they've been good on that side of the ball the last few weeks.
Van Ginkel
making big plays, including the pick 6 last week. But this will be a fun. Will Levis is going to be fun to watch.
Oh, always.
Right. He is aggressive throwing the ball down the field. He's running the ball. He's jumping over guys.
He's one of a few quarterbacks in the NFL whose arm is so good. The classic arm talent thing, right? That it's aesthetically pleasing to watch, right? Like there are some quarterbacks that just have a good arm and they're just good players, but it's the feels that you talk about all the time. You get none of the feels watching them just throw the ball. Will Levis has that Justin Herbert thing where you get the feels just watching him fire a pass at a ridiculous angle or platform and just like rifle it into somebody. And like Damn.
I was going to say Herbert. Yeah, there's similarities there. The outside the numbers
Yeah.
carry, and a lot of the things we said about Herbert as a rookie. I think Levis has that. Now that doesn't lead to production.
Right. It's
but
just it's not a like connected to winning the game thing. It's just when you're watching a game, it's different. It is something interesting where he makes a few throws a game where you're like, wow,
Yeah.
like that is independent of being good or bad at football. That is insanely impressive that a guy can fire a pigskin that hard and fast at another human being 20 yards away from him.
Come on, son, fire that pigskin. So yeah, I mean, it creates big play opportunities that may not exist
Right.
for other quarterbacks. That's what makes Levis fascinating, and that he will lean into that aggressiveness, right? So that makes it fun. The 13.5, huge spread, but yeah, this is what Miami has done against lesser teams, much like Dallas. When they have the big spread, they tend to cover and make a statement. So is this a Monday night statement game for the Dolphins?
I mean, I don't know if it's a statement game as much as I just think they're way better and they'll probably win quite comfortably.
That's a lot of points. I'll take Tennessee, though, for 13.5. Tennessee's, like, they have a bad record, but they're not non-competitive.
No,
you know?
I do just think that they are unusually badly equipped to stop Tyreek Hill, even relative to other people.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they just allot extra people and just say, okay, everyone else beat us.
So
those games will happen.
I'm going Miami.
I'll take Tennessee, though. 13.5 is a lot.
Can I read you just a funny tweet?
Of course.
Zach Rosenblatt said, Nathaniel Hackett said that Zach Wilson had 2 weeks off to, quote-unquote, center himself, and said the goal of the season was always for him to sit and watch, and he finally got to do just that. So this is like the company line selling point of like, we didn't bench him. He just had a couple of weeks off to center himself, and now he's back and ready to rock. Thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts. I'm just picturing this, right? He gets benched. Aaron Rodgers, Coach Rodgers comes in. He's like, hey,
Coach Raj?
Hack, you know what Zach needs? A little centering.
Needs some time to center himself.
He's been off center
He's
all season.
been leaning to the left the whole time.
Yeah. If we get him centered, you know, maybe we make a run.
Align his chakra.
Yeah. Align the whole thing.
Feng Shui, the QB room.
There's no official report about a darkness retreat.
No.
Because I don't think that's an in-season thing.
No.
You can't do like the.
You can't just go off the grid for like 4 days.
The gi thing.
The cleanse.
You can't do the cleanse. You can't do that. That's off-season.
We can't have that because then you're in danger of a Lamar Jackson bathroom emergency during
Correct.
a game.
You don't want that hitting during the game.
No.
So those are off-season things.
Yeah.
So an in-season centering, to me, sounds like it came from Coach Rodgers. That wasn't Saleh or Hackett.
No, God,
They're football guys, right? Because when you wake up on a Monday morning as a football guy, you're like, all right, I got the next team, I got a game plan. They're not thinking about my quarterback's got to be centered here.
No.
That clearly comes from the office of Coach Aaron Rodgers, where he came in and recommended to his fellow coaches on the Jets, hey, we got to get my friend Zach here centered.
I would pay to watch somebody inform Coach Saleh, though, that we're going to need a couple of weeks to recenter Zach.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it wasn't a benching at all. They just pitched, hey, I know, you know, and I know that Zach is our best chance of actually winning games right now. However, he needs to recenter himself. So you're going to have to go with Tim Boyle for a couple of weeks while we get him together. Cool? Gotcha.
Rodgers is just like, my friend Tim needs a couple starts. Tim's going to go in. My friend Zach's going to get centered for a little bit. I mean, Rodgers is he's the puppet master here, including the offensive coordinator, Hackett, one of his other guys. So that's what I'm seeing there. Maybe that's what Mac Jones needed in New England, a little centering. He needed a little mental break.
Well, he needed a Coach Raj advocate on the sideline.
Yeah.
Instead, he's got like Taskmaster Bill trying to ruin him.
No, Bill's trying to mentally make an unstable quarterback so we can get Drake May.
That's what I'm saying.